Wood. Back up now. Back up. Can you get your little blue ball? Little blue. You can do better than that. Give it a kick. Kick. Give it another kick. Kick it again. That's a roll. Kick it again. You kick it. Ah, boy. Good boy, John. Okay, come on over here, John. Okay, in your box. Whoa, that's good boy. Good, John. This is John Henry. And John Henry is a Shire horse. And the Shires are the largest of the draft horses. The largest horse ever recorded was a horse named Mammoth. And Mammoth weighed 3,300 pounds, and he stood at 23 hands tall. Now a hand is about 4 inches, and horses are measured in how many hands tall they are. But they're not measured at their heads, they're measured at this point right here, where when he puts his head up or down, it doesn't move, it's a constant area. Now if you multiply 23 times 4, you get 92 inches. 92 inches is almost 8 foot. 96 inches is 8 foot. I can reach just about 92 inches. So that horse Mammoth would have been that tall at the shoulder. Now John here is 8 years old, and John weighs around 2,400 pounds, and he stands at 18.2. That means he's 18 hands tall plus 2 inches. So if you multiply that out, basically you get 6'2" at the shoulder. Isn't that right, John? Is that right? Hey, is that right? 6'2"? Hey, is that right? Yes, it is. Very good, John. Now John is a very desirable Shire horse because John has all of the characteristics you'd like to see in a Shire horse. Number one, he's a pretty big boy. And we like to see the size in the Shire horses. And number two, John is black. Now there are other colors of Shire horses, but black is the traditional and the color that's most sought after. The other thing that John has that makes him unique and desirable is that he has 4 white stockings. Now when they show horses in teams, they like to have the teams all matched, all looking alike. So he would fit in with a matched team very well. The other thing that John has, that all Shires have, is a white stripe, a blaze down their nose. All Shires will have a blaze. Now John's got a full blaze. It goes all the way from his forehead, all the way down under his chin. And then the other thing that all Shires have is what they call feathering. And that is the hair around their hooves and their legs. You'll also know that John's got a little bit under his chin here. Sometimes we call him Amish John. Yeah. Amish John, my friend Amish John. Yeah, good boy. Now the Shires were originally bred in England around the 12th century, and they were the knights' horses. So if you can imagine John Henry here with armor on, because the horses wore armor too, and a knight astride him, they were magnificent. They were invincible. They were the army tank of the day. Isn't that right, John? Is that right, John? John, is that right? Yes. And then along came gunpowder, and they were obsolete. No longer wanted or needed. They were relegated to doing the heavy farm work, pulling the big wagons and so on. In London, they were primarily used to haul the heavy beer and ale wagons through the muddy London streets. Much like the Budweiser Clydesdale that you see on television and in parades and at the fair and so on. And then along came the internal combustion engine, and by 1950 in the United States, there were only 25 Shire horses left, and not many more than that in England. They were placed on the endangered horse breed list and scheduled for extinction, weren't they? Yeah. But in the early 60s, there was a renewed interest in the Shire breed, and a breeding program was started. And today we have over 3,000 registered Shire horses in the United States, and many more in England, because in England, the Shire has become the English national horse. John's a big celebrity over there, yeah. If you ever see the Queen's Royal Mounted Guard, you know, the guys with the red suits and the big tall hats, they will all be mounted on a Shire horse. Very good, John. Very good. Yes. You did good, didn't you? Now, John's a very smart boy. And when John was a baby, I should tell you that when John was born, John weighed over 200 pounds. But when John was a baby, he used to get the lead ropes off the wall, and he would take those lead ropes and he would drag them all over. So we started taking the lead ropes and throwing them to him, and he'd pick them up and bring them back to us. Well, he doesn't like to do that out here in the arena where the sand's at. See the sand in his mouth, he doesn't like that. So we developed another little game where I twirl the rope and John catches it. So John, can you catch it? Attaboy. And drop, catch, and drop. That's it. Now, John, let's play tug of war. Can you play tug of war? Tug of war. Tug of war, attaboy. Good boy, you almost had it that time, didn't you? Tug of war. Tug of war, attaboy. Good job. Very good. Well, one day, we were watching television, and we saw this rope, this horse that could twirl a rope. And I said, you know, John, I'll bet you could do that. So I fixed up a rope for him, and I gave him a rope, and I said, can you twirl that, John? And sure enough, look at that boy twirl. Very good, John. Can you do that again for us? Can you do it again? Twirl that rope, John. Twirl it, twirl it, twirl it. Stop. Good boy. Very good, John. Well, John, why don't we meet and greet everybody? And we can give everybody a big John smile. Good boy. How about these folks over here, John? Did they see your smile? Give them a big smile. That's it. Good boy. And John, can you look right? Can you look left? Can you look up and down? Good boy. Ah. Can you shake hands? Good. And John, can you do a high five and a down low? High five, down low. Good boy. That was good. Let's do that again. High five, down low. Good boy. Well, that was real good, John, but I think everybody wants to see how handsome you are. So why don't you turn around for us? Can you turn around? Turn around. Attaboy, so we can see how handsome you are. Yep. Come on back here. Very good. Isn't he a handsome boy? Yes, he is. Now, John, can you turn the other way so we can see the other side of John? Turn around. Maybe the dark side. Does John have a dark side? In your box. Come on over. Back up a step or two. Back up just a step or two. Good boy. Good boy, John. Now, when John was a baby, he learned a lot. He learned by himself that he could turn the lights on and off in the barn, didn't you, John? Yep. And then John learned that he could turn the water on in the barn. Unfortunately, John never learned to turn the water off. So we came to find the barn flooded many times. And so we finally took the handles off the valve so he couldn't do it anymore. Well, then John learned that he could open his gate and get out of his stall. And then we found John getting into all kinds of trouble. He'd get out and get into the grain, into his treats, and just cause a lot of trouble. Yep. And then John learned he could come out here in the arena and turn on the lights out here. And then John learned one of his crowning achievements, and that was that if you pushed the button on the wall, he could open the overhead doors. Well, now that back door leads out to the pasture, so he could open that and go in and out as he wanted to, which was fine. At that time, this area was gated off, so he couldn't get over here. But one day, John put all of his skills together, and he came out here and he turned on the lights. And then he worked and worked and worked until he got the gate open, so he could get in here. And then John went over and pushed the button on the wall, opened the overhead door, and let everybody out. We came home on a Wednesday afternoon to find John and company out on the road stopping the school buses as they went by. We had one lady say that she was stopped for the school bus, and the next thing she knew, there was a big black head sticking in her window. Any ideas who that could have been? Yeah, it was John. Yeah. Well, after everybody was rounded up and changes were made, we said, John, if you're so darn smart, you should be going to school. And so John went off to school, didn't you? Did you go to school? Yep. And John learned how to count. You count? And John learned how to do some math, right? Can you do some math? Yep. And John learned his colors. Yep. And John also learned some words. So John can read a little bit, can't you? Can you read a little bit? Yep. 5. Well, let's show him how you can count. Can you come up just a little bit? Well, come on up, just a little bit. Yep. Okay, can you count to 2? Very good. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And 9. Can you count to 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very good, John. Now, one of the hardest concepts in math is the concept of 0. So, John, how many hoofbeats are there in 0? How many? How many hoofbeats in 0, John? That's right, there are none. So how do we do 10, John? We do 7, look for 10, don't we? How would you do 50, John? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And how do you do 100? You just do it. There you go. And 1,000. How do you do 1,000? Get that one up. Come on, get it up. There you go. Good boy. So if we want to do the number 1,225, we'd start out with 1,000. 200, there's 100, there's 200, and then 20, 10, 20, and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay, John! And the crowd goes wild. Come on, crowd, go wild. Yay, John! That was good, buddy. Well, how about some addition and subtraction? John, what is 2 plus 2? Very good. 4 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good, John. What is 15 minus 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, John. How about some multiplication? What's 1 times 3? That's right. And 2 times 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. 3 times 5. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Very good, John. Very good, John. You did good. Okay, John, how about some division? What is 36 divided by 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good, John. Now, John also knows some square roots. Yeah. So what's the square root of 4, John? 1, 2. Very good. Square root of 49. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Very good. Square root of 256. And 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Right, John. Now, John also knows some algebra. Is that right, John? Do you know some algebra? Yep. Very good. So, John, if 2x plus y is equal to 24 and y is equal to 12, what's x, John? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good, John. Very good. Now, John likes to do one other thing. A little game we play. I take some treats. You can see how many I got. I put them behind my back, and now John's going to tell us how many treats I have in my hands. So, John, how many treats do I have? How many treats do I have, John? John says none. Well, let's look and see. And they're are none because John ate those treats, didn't you? Yes, you did. How many did you eat? Right. Good boy. Very good. Well, that's pretty much it today, isn't it, John? That's our schooling for today. So usually we have our recess. And John likes to take his little basket and we'll go for a walk. Sometimes we find some flowers to pick or carrots or apples. So John, get your basket and let's go. Give it here and I'll take it along. Come on, let's go. Come on. You coming for a walk? Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah, stay out of my pockets. Stay out of my pockets. Come on, we're going to walk. Yeah. Oh, look, here's some flowers, John. Can you pick the flowers for us? Can you pick the flowers? Can you pick them? Pick your flowers. Come on. Pick your flowers. Give them here. Oh, good boy. Oh. Can you pick them up? Well, let's take your flowers back for your mom. What do you think? Take your flowers back for your mom? Okay, you get to carry the basket. Now don't drop it. You dropped it already. Come on back. Right there, John. Good boy. That was a good John. That was a real good John. Let's get some of the good ones. There you go. Good boy. Well, that's about all we're going to do in this session. So, John, why don't you give everybody a big bow? Can you bow? Bow and what? Very good, John. That's it. Very good. Well, that concludes our session for today. Whoop. And we're going to go back into the barn here. Whoop. Uh-oh, did we forget something, John? Is that what you're telling me? Yes, we did, didn't we? We forgot to do our bell. We have to do that inside, so we'll go do that inside. So we'll see everybody later, okay? So let's say goodbye, and let's go. Okay, come on, John, let's go. Come on. Come on, John, we'll come over and turn off the lights. Can you turn off the lights, John? Turn off the lights, John. Turn off the lights. Good boy. Okay, come on, John.